Ballast Water Management, BWM Convention. The International Convention for the Control and Management of Ships' Ballast Water and Sediments was adopted on February 13, 2004 by the IMO to address the growing concern over invasive aquatic species being transported through ships' ballast water. These species often survive in new environments, disrupting local ecosystems, damaging biodiversity, and causing economic harm. The convention entered into force on September 8, 2017. 1. Objective and scope. The primary objective of the BWM Convention is to prevent, reduce, and control pollution of the marine environment resulting from the transfer of harmful aquatic organisms and pathogens through ballast water and sediments. The convention applies to all ships, including submersibles, floating craft, and platforms, designed to carry ballast water. 2. Approval. Ballast water management systems has to be approved as per IMO Guideline G8 and for systems employing active substances, requirements of IMO Guideline G9 to be complied. The approval procedure consists of both shore-based testing of a production model to confirm that the D2 discharge standards are met, and shipboard testing to confirm that the system works in service. Ballast water exchange. Regulation D1. At least 95% of volumetric exchange or, if using the pumping through methods, 3 times the volume. Regulation B4, at least 200 miles from the nearest land and in water at least 200 meters in depth. Guideline G6, ballast water exchange. Guideline G14, designation of areas for ballast water exchange. Guideline G11, ballast water exchange design and conduction standards. MEPC 163, 56 Ballast Water Exchange in Antarctic Area. Ballast Water Performance Standard. Regulation D2. Ships conducting ballast water management in accordance with this regulation shall discharge less than 10 viable organisms per cubic meter greater than 50 micrometers, and less than 10 viable organisms per milliliter less than 50 micrometer and greater than 10 micrometer, and indicator microbes shall not exceed. Toxicogenic Vibrio cholerae with less than 1 colony forming unit, CFU, less than 1 CFU per 1 GM. Escherichia coli, less than 250 CFU per 100 milliliters. Intestinal enterococci, less than 100 CFU per 100 milliliters. Exemptions. Regulation A. For exemptions to Regulations B, 3, or C, one of the convention may be granted by the administrations, but only when they are granted to a ship or ships on a voyage or voyages between specified ports or locations, or to a ship which operates exclusively between specified ports or locations, with effective for a period of no more than 5 years subject to intermediate review, with certain conditions. Note: the United States has not ratified the BWM Convention and has established independent ballast water regulations. USCG Regulations 33 CFR Part 151 and 46 CFR Part 162 entered into force on June 21, 2012 and applicable in U.S. waters. Treatment technologies: mechanical, physical, and chemical. A. Mechanical systems. Filtration. Sediments and particles are removed with disc and screen filters during ballast intake. Cyclonic separation. Solid particles are separated from the water due to centrifugal forces. Electromechanical separation. A flocculant is injected that attaches to organisms and sediment. Magnetic separation and filtration is used to remove the solid particles. B. Physical disinfection. Ultraviolet light. UV radiation is used to attack and break down the cell membrane, killing the organism outright or destroying its ability to reproduce. Cavitation/ultrasounds. Venturi pipes or slit plates are used to generate cavitation bubbles, and this high-energy bubble creation and collapse results in hydrodynamic forces and ultrasonic oscillations, or high-frequency noise, which disrupts the cell walls of organisms and effectively killing them. Deoxygenation. Various methods are used to remove the dissolved oxygen in the ballast water and replace it with inactive gases, such as nitrogen or other inert gas. Removing the oxygen not only kills the aerobic organisms, but it can also have benefits for corrosion prevention provided that the oxygen content is maintained. C. Chemical treatment. Disinfecting biocides, pre-prepared or packaged disinfectants designed to be dosed into the ballast flow and kill the living organisms by chemical poisoning or oxidation. Typical biocides include chlorine, chloride ions, chlorine dioxide, sodium hypochlorite, and ozone. Residual biocides in the ballast water must meet ballast discharge standards, which may require neutralization techniques. Electrolytic chlorination. Electrical current is applied directly to the ballast water flow in an electrolytic chamber, generating free chlorine, sodium hypochlorite, and hydroxyl radicals, causing electrochemical oxidation through the creation of ozone and hydrogen peroxide. Compliance requirements for ships. 1. Ballast Water Management Plan, BWMP. Mandatory for all ships greater than or equal to 400 GT. Must include safety procedures for ballasting, sediment removal methods, crew training protocols, and emergency procedures. Approval must be approved by the Flag Administration or recognized organization RO. 2. Ballast Water Record Book, BWRB. Required for all ships greater than or equal to 400 GT. Logs all ballast operations, including dates, locations, volumes exchanged, exemptions or accidental discharges. Retention period, 2 years on board and 3 years with the company. 3. Surveys and certification. Initial survey, before ship enters service, annual survey, checks BWMS functionality, renewal survey, every 5 years, full compliance check. International Ballast Water Management Certificate, IBWMC, issued upon compliance. B. Ballast Water Management, BWM, Code, 2018 is non-mandatory guidelines adopted in 2018. Provides technical guidelines for implementing the BWM Convention. Standardizes approval, installation, and operation of ballast water management systems, BWMS. Approval of ballast water management system using an active substance. The active substances, preparations, or relevant chemicals formed in the treated ballast water should not create any unreasonable risk to the ship and personnel. As per Reg D. 3.2 of the Convention, a BWM system using an active substance must have basic approval of IMO. For this purpose, the member state submitting an application should conduct the type approval tests in accordance with G8. The results should be conveyed to IMO for confirmation that the residual toxicity of the discharge conforms to the evaluation undertaken for basic approval. This would result in final approval of the ballast water management system. An emission scenario document, ESD, should be provided by the OEM as part of the risk assessment procedure for ballast water management systems. The ESD should be based on the worst-case discharge scenario. IMO shall determine that the active substances, preparations, or relevant chemicals are not persistent, bioaccumulative, and toxic, PBT. Preparations that exceed all these criteria, persistence, bioaccumulation, and toxicity, are treated as PBT and not been considered for approval. The process approval is indicated in the flow diagram. Thank you for watching the video. For more marine topics, please subscribe the channel. Please help us with your valuable feedback to improve the contents.